So we'll first introduce what is an equation. An equation has got an equal sign. So it's two different things linked by equal sign. That doesn't work. Alright, two different things linked by equal sign. So there's some example of the equation. Two different expressions linked by equal sign. That's the equation. That doesn't have an equal sign, so we'll say it's an algebraic expression. And there's these ones that look like an equation, but it's not. It is called an identity because they're exactly equal. Because if you expand the right-hand side, you get 2p minus 4. So they're identical to each other. So we call that an identity. So there's three different things. And then what we do is we're going to look at the equation. Well, equation, because it has an equal sign, anything on the left is called the left-hand side, abbreviated as LHS. Anything on the right is called the right-hand side, abbreviated by the RHS. So for this particular equation, the left side of the equation is 4d minus 6, and the right side of the equation is 2d plus 5. Pretty easy. Same thing for this. Left side is 7w plus 1, right side is 0. Alright, so now we know what equation look like, what the parts of the equation are, the left and the right and the equal in the middle. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check whether an answer is a solution to an equation. I think I explained what solution is. Yeah, okay. Alright, what's a solving equation is find the solution to an equation or find a number that makes the left and right equal. So we're going to check whether left and right agree with each other when w equal to 3. So to do that, we're going to do left-hand side equal to 3w minus 4, which is 3 times 3 minus 4. Substitute 3 into w, which is 5. And then we have to check the right-hand side is also 5. If it's not, then it is not a solution. If you do 2 times 3 plus 3, it's going to be 6 plus 3, 9. So they don't agree with each other. They must agree for it to be a solution. If they don't agree, we say it is not a solution. So we say, therefore, w equal to 3 is not a solution to the equation. And you should try the next question with the same working out. Alright, this, you can see the whole screen, maybe not. Okay, try the B, okay, have a try. Not too hard, pretty easy. Yeah, record this and, alright, let's make this big. Okay, so we'll start with the left-hand side, which is 3 times 7 minus 4. 21 minus 4 is 17. Right-hand side is 2 times 7 plus 3, which is also 17. Therefore, left and right are equal. So you write, therefore, w equal to 7 is a solution. Alright, any questions? So hopefully you have a similar working as mine, like this. Yep. So now we know how to check the answer to an equation. The next thing is actually solve the equation. Checking is easy, just substitute, but solving can be different, are much more difficult. Okay, alright, let's move on to the next page. Alright, we're going to solve linear equations. So in this topic, we'll be solving a variety of equations. We're going to solve linear equation, quadratic equation, equation with absolute value, everything, simultaneous equation. So we're going to solve all the different types of equations. But the first type of equation we're going to solve is linear equation. Now the word linear means line, so this equation, if you graph it, you'll get a straight line. That's why it's called a linear equation. Okay? Now what is a linear equation? The linear equation, the power of x must be positive 1. Right? These are called linear equations. And these are the simplest type of equation you can solve. And there are many different varieties. So we're going to examine all this variety. The harder one is the one that with fractions, so we're going to look at these 4 examples, all with fractions. Okay, so let's solve the first one. To solve the first one, what you need to do is get rid of the denominator, so you can multiply both sides by 3, right? That cancels, so you get 3 bracket x plus 4 over 2, like that. And then there's a 2 there, so you multiply both sides by 2. So your aim is to get rid of the denominator. So you end up getting 3 bracket x plus 4 equal to 2x minus 3. Alright, so that's your first step. Get rid of the denominator. And you can do so by multiplying both sides by the same number. Yep. Okay. Alright, after we do this, that x is no good. Okay. After we do this, let's check now recording. Okay. After we do this, we should expand. So expand, like this, and then we get 3x plus 12 equal to 4x minus 6. And when there is a polynomial on both sides, we subtract both sides by the, I usually subtract the right side by, actually I subtract by 3x to keep things positive, right? So that cancels, so you end up getting 12 equals to x minus 6. And then to work out what x is you're going to plus 6 to both sides, right? So you're going to get x equal to 18 is your final answer, or just write x equal to 18. Okay. Say again. Say again, Nat. Nothing? Did you do it in an easier way? Maybe. Alright. Anyway, there's more than one way. As long as you get it correct, it's okay. Alright, now, what do we want to say? Now, how do you know? In the exam, you want to check your answer. So the only way to check your answer is to substitute back into the formula, into the equation, and then see whether it works. Let's try that. So if I get my calculator out, I want to check whether it works. So you just go 18 plus 4 equal, divide by 2. That gives you 11. That's the left side. And the right side, go 2 times 18 minus 3 equal, and then divide by 3. You also get 11. So it works. Okay? But of course, when you do the homework, you just check the answer from the back of the book. Yeah. Alright, any question? Let's try the second one, part B. Alright, part B. Now, part B and A is a slightly different, where you have got both fractions in the same side, whereas this one's on both sides. You can just get rid of the 3 and 2. So this one, what you do is you make a common denominator, just like what you do with algebraic fractions. So you times by 3 times by 2. Whereas the other one, you get rid of the denominator. This one, you make a common denominator. Alright, so you get 3r over 6 minus 6r minus 8 over 6 equal to 6. And then you have to make them the same denominator. But be very, very careful. There is an invisible bracket, especially there's a minus. So if you make a common denominator, you must expand this. This is a very common mistake made by students. They write negative 6r, but they forgot to change the minus to a plus. So be careful that this is a plus. Okay? So this is a very, very common error. So especially when you do minus, you have to expand this. Okay? Become a plus. And that's the only part people could make a mistake, but I think the rest will be very easy. Collect like terms, which you'll get negative 3r plus 8 over 6, like that. And like before, we have to get rid of the denominator once you make a common denominator. So just multiply both sides by 6, and then you will end up getting an answer. So you get negative 3r plus 8 equal to 36. And then subtract both sides by 8, you get negative 3r equal to 28. R is 28 over negative 3. Or you can write it as a mixed fraction, which is equal to 9 and 1/3, isn't it? Negative. Yep, I will. Let's go up. Alright, there you go. sorry. Like this. Okay. All right, any question for this? Okay, so you type this in minus a minus 4 over 3, right? Okay, so you type this in, press equal, give you some random answer. We're now going to substitute this number in. So write 28 over negative 3, shift RCL, which is store, minus, gives you substitute into A, go up, this is your expression on the left side, press equal, it does give you 6. Can you see it's faster than typing a fraction twice? Alright. Okay, good. Any question? Alright, let's move on to the next question. Another fraction question. Alright. So how do I do this one? Same thing, make a common denominator. So you just times by 4 times by 4. The other one is x minus 3, x minus 3, right? So you get 4 over 4 bracket x minus 3 plus 3x minus 3 over 4x minus 3 equal to 1. So we make a common denominator. And then we can see this is 4 plus this over the same thing. That. And we expand, collect like terms, so you get 4 plus 3x minus 9 over 4 bracket x minus 3 equal to 1. And then we collect like terms, which is 3x minus 5 over this. And then now, once everything is simplified, you multiply both sides by the denominator. 4x minus 3, you get cancelled, right? And then you just expand this so that you end up getting 3x minus 5 equal to 4x minus 3. No, 4x minus 12. 12. And then you're going to solve for x. So you just go subtract both sides by 3x so you don't have a negative term. So you get negative 5 equal to x minus 12. And then plus 12 on both sides, you get x equal to 7. Is your final answer. I'll scroll up a bit so you can see. Let's do it again. Alright. Okay, so I'll just keep it there. You can watch the video again to see how that works. Yeah, that's a much better way. I'm going to do it. Didn't think of that. Sorry. Alright, yeah, let's do it this way. Yeah, that way it's much better. Alright. That's too much work, too confusing. Alright, is it still recording? That's good. Okay, let's make it big. Alright, so all you have to do is get rid of the fraction. So you go x minus 3 equal to 1 minus 3/4, which is a quarter. This is like the express root. Okay. Right, so now we reciprocal both sides. So we can flip both sides. So you get x minus 3 equal to 4. Then x is 7. Oh, this is very quick. Very, very good. Alright. The other way is just very dumb. Okay. Alright, so, yeah, we got it. Alright, write it down, and then try the next one. Next one, there's no express way, so you have to do it the long way. Okay? Alright. Have a try. So again, get rid of the denominator like you used to. Press record. So I'm going to write this big. Okay. Alright. So you can times both sides by the denominator, but what you could do, you can cross multiply. If it's like this, so you can just go x plus 1. It only works, the cross multiply, if there's a fraction equals to another fraction. Right? You can cross multiply. You can't do this when it is like they're all on the same side. Right? Right? You can't do this, right? You have to make a common denominator. But with equal, you can. So you go x minus 1 times 2x plus 4. And then you expand and collect like terms. So if you expand that, you get 2x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 3. Taking a long time. Okay. Anyway, I've still got 2 pages to go. Okay. Anyway, so you get 2x squared plus 4x minus 2x minus 4 and collect like terms. Right, collect like terms, so you get 2x squared minus x minus 3 equal to 2x squared plus 2x minus 4. And then you can get rid of the, get rid of the 2x squared on both sides. Because they're the same, you subtract both, it's like subtracting both sides by 2x squared. And then you end up getting negative x minus 3 equal to 2x minus 4. Then you have to minus 2x on both sides. So you end up getting negative 3x minus 3 equal to negative 4. And then negative 3x equal to negative 1. So x is a third. Is your final answer. Alright, good. Okay. Excellent. Good. So, by itself. Okay, we're going to move on to the next page. Alright, good. Next one is better. Okay, now we're going to solve equation arising from substitution into a formula. So there's some well-known formula like the volume of a cylinder. They want you to work out another polynomial after substitution. So let's do that. So you write v equal to pi r square h. Write down the formula first. Then you substitute 6 into r, 180 pi into v. Then you're going to solve for h. Now how do I do that? Now first simplify, you get 36 pi first. And then to find h, you do 180 pi over 36 pi. Obviously the pi get cancelled. 180 over 36, I think it's 5. But let's double check that. 180 divided by 36, you should get 5. Yep, so you get 5. So the height of the cylinder is 5. Try the next one. Next one is finding something different, finding the radius. It's the same volume but with different height, and find the radius. Have a try. Yeah, okay, good. So try this. How do I do this? So you just have to do 180 pi equal to pi r squared times 20. And we're going to divide both sides by 20 pi. 20 pi because the 20 pi cancel the pi as well as the 20, right? And the pi is cancelled, so you end up getting 9. Now how do I find r? What do? We have to square root. Now normally we have to put plus and minus, but because r is the radius, r is positive radius, we only take the positive square root. So we'll just take positive root 9, which is 3. Okay, question. Alright, all done? After we do this, we'll look at another aspect of formula. We need to know how to change the subject of a formula. Okay, how do I get the subject of a formula? So for this question, we're going to make y the subject. Okay, how do I get y the subject? We do, so we have to move these two terms to the right side. Minus ax minus c. And then to make y the subject, you have to get rid of anything next to the y. So this has to get rid of. To get rid of that, you divide by b. Right, done. So there's the easy one, making things the subject. And the next one is a little bit more challenging. Alright, okay, so we've done this, and we're going to do the next one. Okay, so we're going to make A the subject. A is this polynomial there. We're going to make A the subject. So this is a bit difficult than the other one. So let's write down the formula first. X plus 1 over X plus A. So if you make A the subject, first you have to get rid of the denominator. So we'll do that first. Alright, so we cancel this. And then you're going to expand this. So you get xy plus ay equals to x plus 1. But remember, you're making A the subject. So anything that's not part of it needs to be moved to the other side. So you get x plus 1 minus xy. That's A. And finally, like before, anything next to the A has to be removed. So you do so by dividing. Done. Right, good. Question. Yep. Yes, excellent question. We could do that. So you can also do, so if I start from this step, actually start from the above, so if I leave it like this, without expanding, we can divide both sides by y, so x plus a equal to x plus 1 over y, then you subtract by x. Yes, you can do that. And they are the same expression, just something, yeah, so x, so, oof, yeah. So let me write this again. So you can do it like this, y, and then subtract by x. X plus 1 over y minus x. Yeah, which is same as above. Alright, so you can do it this way. Alright, x plus 1 over y. Alright, good. Any question? We'll do another one. Okay, what's the next one like? Change the subject to x. This is much harder. Let's start with the question. Y equal to x plus 1 over x plus a. So what you do is you multiply both sides by x plus a. So like before, you cancel x plus a, cancel this. And then you're going to get, and then you have to expand this, so you get xy plus ay equal to x plus 1. Okay. Now what do we do after this? We're going to make x the subject, so if there are x on both sides, make sure you move them next to each other. So you're going to move this one to the left, so it becomes negative x. xy plus ay equal to 1. Anything that doesn't have an x needs to be moved to the right side. So we're going to move this term to the right, so it becomes minus ay, 1 equal to xy minus x. So that's what we got up to so far. So our aim is to move all the x to one side. Anything doesn't have an x, move to the right side. Now notice there's two x terms, so we need to combine into one single term, one single thing. So we factorize the x out. So that's the key step. Once you factorize x is by itself, all you have to do is to divide both sides by y minus 1. So that will get rid of both entirely. So you end up getting x equals to 1 minus ay over y minus 1, which will be your final answer. Alright, question. Yep. Yeah, you can start with this one. Yeah, you can use this one to rearrange. Yeah. Actually, Yeah, you have to start from this line then. Yeah. Is that what you're saying? You use the previous answer to rearrange? Yeah, you could, yeah. Alright, good. Question. Right, good. Alright, we'll go one more page to go, then we'll finish. Okay, one more, just one more, because these are all revision, okay? Yeah, alright. Alright, okay, lastly is linear inequality. So we've got equation, there's also inequality. Let's look at some of the properties of inequality. So if I add 2 to both sides, oh, doesn't work. Okay, add 2 to both sides, you get 5 bigger than negative 2. So 5 still bigger than negative 2. If you subtract both sides by 2, you get 1 bigger than negative 6. Right? No problem if you subtract both sides by positive or add 2 to both sides. You can also multiply both sides by 2. Again, no change. 6 is still bigger than negative 8. But if you multiply both sides by negative 2, then you get negative 6 and positive 8. That's where you have to change the direction, because you multiply by negative. Because negative 6 is no longer bigger than 8, it's actually smaller than 8. And the same thing goes for divide both sides by 2. 1.5 is bigger than negative 2 if you divide by 2. But if you divide by negative 2, you end up getting negative 1.5 and 2, and the sign has to be reversed because you divide by negative. Okay? And finally, if you swap the two sides, 3 bigger than negative 4, and if I write negative 4 on the left, 3 on the right, it's going to be swapped, switched around. So when we swap sides, we have to switch the inequality sign. Yep. So we don't have this problem when we have it equalize. X equal to 3 is same as 3 equal to x. No problem. But when there's an inequality, you have to be careful. Right? Okay, good. So what we do is we're going to summarize our finding. So we swap the inequality sign, or not swap, we change the inequality sign whenever we multiply or divide a negative number, or when we swap the sides. That's when we have to change the inequality sign. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in the next few examples, and then you can start doing the work, and over the weekend you will do 4 exercises. Alright, and then we continue. Alright, let's look at this. First one is very easy. Minus 2x minus 2x, x plus 8 is less than negative 4, x is less than negative 12. Right? And you graph the answer on the number line, so 0, negative 12. So therefore it's going to the left. Yep. So that's how we graph it on the number line. Alright, good. After this, we should try the next one. Next one, there's a fraction on both sides. So what do? We just multiply both sides by 15. Now, why do I multiply by 15? Yep. Yep, you can take. I may get it back later. Okay. Alright, yep. Yeah, but we may get it later. Alright, when we need it. Alright, okay, so divide by 5, so you get 3. 3 minus 2x. Less than, divide by 3, you get 5. So you can see you can get rid of both denominator by multiplying by 15, like the lowest common denominator. And then you expand this, so you get 9 minus 6x less than 5x plus 20. Oops. Alright, and then you're going to add 6x to both sides. So 11x plus 20, and then you get negative 11. Like that. And then divide by 11, so you get x bigger than or equal to negative 11, negative 1. And then you swap the size, so make sure you swap the inequality, so it's bigger than negative 1. Alright, let's write it down. So graphing it, you just write this, x-axis, -1, 0, bigger than or equal to, so it's a dark circle going to the right. Okay, hopefully all done, so we move on to the next question. Next one, what if there's inequality on both sides? We do the same thing, we just have to subtract everything by -2. So you get 5 less than 5x less than 20. Yep. Yeah. Continue. All right. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. Right. Yep. Yeah. How do I get that? 3 times 5 is 15. Yeah. No, you time both sides to get 15. No, time both sides by 15 in order to get rid of the denominator 5. Because 15 divides into 5, so you get 3. And then 15 divides into 3, you get 5. Right? Yeah. So we'll try to get rid of the denominator. Yeah. All right. Good. So we're going to do this one. So you get cancelled. You get 1 less than x less than 4. Right? And then we're going to draw another line between 4 and 1. Done. Okay? Easy. Yep, I will. All right. Good. I've got one more question to go. Just one more. -2. -2. See, sub 7 minus 2 is 5. This -2, you get rid of the 2, right? You get rid of. So you try to get rid of the 2 there. That's why I subtract by 2. All right, try the last one. We've got one more to go through. Right, try the last. So we're going to move on to the next one. Same thing. We should get rid of the 3 first. -3, -3, -3. So we end up getting -6 less than -2x less than 4, right? And then you divide everything by -2. And you end up getting 3x and -2. But remember, when you divide by negative, you have to swap this inequality sign. Like that. Yep, because you're dividing by negative, the same rules apply. And due to this result, we should swap the side. Swap sides. And to swap the sides, you put the -2 on the left, less than x, less than equal to 3. Like that. Yeah, and then we can draw the solution. So between -2 and 3, which you put a dark circle in between. All done. Any questions? So you do 4 exercises today. So I gave you that paper with all the questions you have to do. So make sure you write today's date, which is 23rd of 6th of February, 23rd. And of course, you're not going to do all of them. Maybe just do 5 from each. 5 to 10. Make sure you do some harder ones. Over the weekend, I'll go back to that last page in case you missed things. Oops, sorry, not this page. All right, good. Okay, that's the last thing we did. Okay, good. All right, you can start now. All right, have a